In this technical analysis of the stock market video, I'm calling it Last Man Standing because the United States indices are the only one of the major indices around the globe that are still positive. Everything else is in the red. So let's start off here and take a look at the New York Composite. You can see what we did this week. We continue to trend to the downside. We only had 4 days of trading, but I am now labeling this August 29th high as the end of intermediate wave 2. My expectation is that the selling will continue to come on down, that we've completed the little wave structure in here that we've had. This is a very complex corrective overlapping waves that have continued to move sideways for 7 months. And now if we break this trend line in here, I think the selling is going to accelerate and the direction is down. Okay, so that's the picture there. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq Composite. Pull that up. Nasdaq Composite. And the picture between the Nasdaq and the Nasdaq 100 are very similar. So I'm focusing on the Nasdaq Composite right now. We came down and we had this, actually I'm getting duplicates. I don't know why the database is doing this on the weekend. I've noticed that this starts to happen. I've got duplicate bars in here, so apologize for that. But this was the 8th, I believe, in here. There's 7th. Yeah, the 7th. Today's the 8th. Yeah, so this was Friday. We had 4 days in here, so we got duplicate days in here for Friday. But we actually did start to break this trend line. This trend line is between minor wave 2 and minor wave 4. What I was starting to say is we came down and we overlapped this high here, this August 9th high. Because of that overlap, this cannot be a continuing impulsive wave in terms of, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 cannot overlap 1. So what this looks like to me is that we have a diagonal in here for wave 4. So I think there's a high probability that 5 waves have completed in here for intermediate wave 5 to complete. So this is the bearish view. This is the most aggressive view to the downside for the Nasdaq. So the expectation is that selling will continue and that we will continue to come on down and start to break out of this upward trending channel that we've been in. Now, the alternate view is that it's still a little bit more positive than that we have more to go to the upside, but that it is an ending diagonal pattern. But either way, whether it's an ending diagonal or whether the pattern has ended, we're still going to get short term, I believe, at least, some more selling. You have to complete wave 4 here, even in the most bullish scenario. 4 overlaps 1 in an ending diagonal. Okay, so that's the pattern that's going on there with the Nasdaq Composite. Let's take a quick look at the VIX. I think the VIX is on the verge of an explosion. And again, I'm getting duplicate bars in here. These are 2 bars for Friday. This last one is not correct. This has got the correct view. It's got the correct opening and close in here. But we're right here hugging this trend line. So we've got a squeeze going on. Now, I talked about this pattern that it was similar to what we were seeing back here in January in terms of the activity, and the same kind of thing is happening here. And now we're coming right up to this. So either this trend line is either going to repel this and, buying is going to kick in and the VIX is going to collapse and break down, or the VIX is going to explode to the upside here. So this week could be a very interesting week. Okay, so that's the picture there on the indices. And last man standing, let's talk about some of these global markets. Let's start off with the German DAX. The German DAX, look how it has been down for most of the year. This is the last week of 2017. So when you look across, almost all of the trading, this is a weekly chart, almost all the trading has been below the close of 2017. Here's the January 26th high. Okay, so it's not even come close to doing this. It looks a lot like the New York Composite, although it's breaking down even more so. This bar this week, down 404 points this week. This is the lowest weekly close since March 23rd, okay? And this trend line, this dark trend line right here, that is the trend line for the entire bull market since March of 2009. And that's the first real break of it. You know, pretty solid trend line that's been touched several times. And now we're breaking down out of it. So the German DAX is starting to come under some pressure. I think that's a negative. Let's look at the Shanghai weekly. I've talked about this before, many times before. Look where it's trading down here. It was only down 23 points for the week, but it's just kind of staying down right near these lows of January, February 2016. Okay. Well, if any of our markets in the United States or the German DAX or any of the major ones get down to where this where the Shanghai Composite is, we got a long way to go. I mean, that'd be a lot of selling to kick in to get down to that. But that's the picture on the Shanghai, a very weak market. Tokyo, let's take a look at the Nikkei 225. Now, here's the January 26th high. Again, hasn't even come close. Here's the week ending December 29th of last year. So again, like Germany, almost all of the trading has been below the close of last year. And here we had a down week. It would be interesting to see. It keeps getting repulsed from the 23,000 level on the Nikkei. And it'll be interesting to see if this trend line breaks or holds in here. This is you know, had fairly strong move here over the last couple of years, but so far this year, it's not even coming close. Again, it's starting to act like Germany, like our New York Composite Index, not even coming close to challenging the old highs of January. We looked at Germany, we looked at Shanghai. Last one today is the FTSE 100 for the United Kingdom. And this has really started to sell off the last 4 weeks. Big break, down 155 points this week. Rapidly coming down to this trend line. This trend line is the 2-year trend line from that January 2016 low. So again, this is where the Shanghai Composite's trading, okay, at the January, February lows of 2016. And now we'll see whether, you know, what happens with this trend line and as selling start to kick in on this. Let's zoom back out of this picture so you can see this has been in what looks like a pretty decent channel, pretty big channel, but pretty decent channel in here. Again, here's the March 2009 low. So this is the entire bull move since then. And, you know, this trend line here was a major trend line. And once it broke back in 2015, August of 2015, it came back up to it and kept bouncing around it, pulled back to it again, pulled back to it again, and now seems to be breaking away once again. So watching to see what happens with this, what kind of breakdown. And of course, we got all that going on with the Brexit over there in the United Kingdom. All right, that's it for this weekend. If you felt like the video was helpful, please hit the like button. And if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscriber button. If you could think of one person who might benefit from this video, share the video with them. And if you want to get more insight, education, trade ideas, click on my little face on the screen there. Head on over to joehenches.net. If you click on that image, it'll take you over there. And check out the website and the membership. All right, everyone, have a wonderful weekend. We'll talk to you on the next video.